Hey everybody, Dan here with Pain Free You. Chilling out behind my mom's house. This is a house I grew up in. Some neighbors are having a party, so excuse the sound of kids and people chatting. Today I wanted to talk about trying to control the uncontrollable. So, we'll get to that in a minute. I'm going to enjoy listening to these birds. Getting some fresh air. Breathing in the sound of joy, right? Sounds like a party going on. Instead of letting it bother me, just know that there's a bunch of people nearby who are having a good time. So, see how much fun you can have today. And the birds are definitely singing. So, trying to control the uncontrollable. Basically, that is a recipe for frustration and anger, right? So what are some of the things in our lives that we try to control that are uncontrollable? Well, absolutely our pain or our symptoms. In my opinion, we don't control them. And if you try to control them and it doesn't work, what happens? You get pissed off or frustrated or sad, like this doesn't work. Nothing about my approach to TMS is about controlling anything. It's about influencing. So I really like that word, influence. So how can I influence my pain? Well, if pain is based on the brain's perception of danger and the fear is what keeps it going, the best way to influence it is to use accurate knowledge about what's going on to dial down the fear so that my brain perceives less danger, and when it does, it's more likely to be influenced in a positive direction and allow the symptoms or pains to dial down and lower. But if you go about this whole TMS, mind-body, perceived danger, pain recovery process with the intent to learn how to control your pain, you're always going to be doing things with an outcome expected. So you're going to do a lot of the to-do list items like breath work, meditation, somatic tracking, journaling, emotional discovery, therapy, right? And you're going to be doing all of these things in an effort to control the uncontrollable. And every time you do all of these fixing activities and they don't work, inevitably that increases your level of frustration and anger and sadness. And then we just become despondent and we say, wow, this isn't going to work. I can't control the pain. And my encouragement is don't try to control the pain. You're trying to control something that's uncontrollable. The best you can hope for is to influence it, but influence it in a positive direction by understanding what's going on, knowing that it applies to you, and then doing everything you can, not to heal your brain and nervous system because it's not sick, but to influence it and teach it that you're actually okay. So accurate knowledge is a great tool to dial down the fear. Doing the assessments that I've talked about in many videos, yourpaintest.com, you will see there's a quick 10-question quiz that will determine how your symptoms are behaving. And if it behaves like mind, body, or TMS, then it's TMS. And that's great news, because if it is, that means your pain is not behaving like a structural, physical, abnormality or problem. So we dial down the fear with accurate knowledge so that the brain will feel safer. And all on its own, when the brain's got the message, it can and will turn off the pain. So don't try to control the uncontrollable. Now, there's probably lots of other things in life that we can't control. We can't control other people's, what other people think about us. We can't always control other people's behaviors. We certainly can't control what's going on this planet or this world, politically, from a health perspective, etc., etc. We can't really control all that stuff. Sometimes we can't even control what's going on in our jobs or in our careers. The best thing we can hope to do is show up the best way we know how and influence in a positive direction all of these uncontrollable things. And at minimum, for the things that you can't control, you can choose your reaction to those things. So if you can't control your pain and you're having a colorful day, okay, you can't control it. Trying is just going to make you frustrated, full of despair, anger, sadness, rage, guilt, whatever. And then we judge ourselves, and then we lose hope. So if you can start from a standpoint that I'm not in control of this, the subconscious mind is in control, really. The perception of danger in the subconscious is what's in control. The best thing I can hope to do is, with the accurate knowledge, dial down the fear, consistent messages of safety, and know that with that, I am optimizing my chances to influence that subconscious brain in a positive direction so that it can dial down the symptoms or the pain. The overall message I have for you is you're not broken. Your brain is just working with misinformation and operating on fear, which spikes the adrenaline and cortisol, which amplifies everything. It doesn't calm it down. So influence the entire system with accurate knowledge and calm. Basically, calm down. When you calm down and your response and your thinking calms down, the brain and the autonomic nervous system and the subconscious mind will also notice, look at Dan, he's pretty calm. I guess we're okay. Right? And don't try to control the uncontrollable. The best you can hope is to show up differently, choose your response, rely on the accurate knowledge that you're actually okay. You're not broken. You're not broken physically, mentally, or emotionally. And know that you're going to be okay. This too will end. And for people who say, well, when's it going to end, Dan? I've been doing this for 6 months. Well, have you truly been giving yourself consistent messages of safety? Have you had the clarity that says this is absolutely mind, body, and nothing else? If you're not clear with it, your brain's going to stay in fear. And if you're staying in fear, the brain's going to perceive danger, which means the symptoms are going to persist. So, foundationally, get the accurate knowledge, get the clarity that this applies to you. Go to yourpaintest.com. Answer the 10 questions. If it comes out over 29 or 29 or over, that's TMS. Doesn't matter if you're 29 or 30 or 31 or whatever. It's still TMS. It may not be overwhelming, but it's still enough to know. So, don't try to control the uncontrollable. Smile. Focus on living your life. Enjoy yourself. Consistent messages of safety. And there's many of them. It's not just words that we say out loud. It's listening to music, sitting outside, enjoying nature. It's watching a funny show. It is connecting with somebody you haven't talked to in a while. It's connecting with your family members who are inside the house. It's getting away from talking about your problems and actually asking somebody else, how's your day going? What's going on with you? Tell me something funny that happened today at school or at work or, when you were out and about. Get outside of your problem-solving, thinking, controlling head and enjoy the present moment. Yesterday I talked about how to counteract worry, and that was that question. What could I be doing different right now besides sitting here worrying? So if you didn't see it, go back and watch it. But that's a great question to ask yourself. But get outside of your problem-solving head. Get outside of your, I hate the word because it sounds insulting, but it's not, because a lot of us have lived there. Leave your pity party. The party's over. You don't have to stay there, because staying in the pity party is absolutely not helpful in recovering from this TMS, because when you're in that pity party, all you're doing is focusing on the negative, and you're frustrated because you can't control those negative things. So move towards joy, purpose, meaning, connection with others. Stop fixing, start living more, and let me know what you think. Controlling the uncontrollable is a recipe for frustration. Stop trying to control it. Recognize it's not your job to control it. If it was that controllable, somebody would have figured out an off button to just put in the middle of our forehead that we can say, oh, I'm feeling pain. It doesn't work that way. But you can influence it, and it works more reliably and better than you think. So, love you guys and gals, and guess I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.